welcome. We're going to do a GPA calculation. This is something that I get a lot of questions about, and so I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. We're going to do all 4 years, and we're going to do it for 9th grade through 12th grade with lots of regular, honors, and college credit on here. Furthermore, we have an example of where the family used CLEP exams, and so I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, so before you can do your transcript GPA calculation, I highly recommend that you have everything else on here already done. Now, this is a template that you can create for free. Go to homeschoolingforcollegecredit.org, type in transcript, and you're going to be able to get the tutorial on how to make this. This is something that you can do in under a half hour on your home computer. Now, I recommend making your own because you may need to modify it to kind of accommodate any type of interesting things about your transcript. You might have lots of credit on here. You might have lots of college credit on here. And if you use this transcript template, you can keep everything on one page. I think my second or third son graduated with like 90 college credits, and we were still able to keep everything on one page in a size 11 font. So you can do that as long as you have a good template to start from. So that's what we've got. We've got on this template everything already filled in as far as the class goes, the credits, and the grade. The only thing that's sitting here are the boxes for the weighted or unweighted grade point average. And a lot of times this is when I get the email from the parent that's ready to go and they're not quite sure how to proceed. So let me take you to my new favorite, I should say, grade point average calculator, because this is one I just discovered this summer in 2024, and I've been using it and I really like it. So let me give you that. Okay, so GPAcalculator.io is my new favorite GPA calculator. It is so good, you guys. I have no affiliation with them. I'm not getting paid, nothing like that. This is a free calculator. It's so, so good. So if you have a different one that you like, that's fine, but this is the one that we're going to use. Now, to save just a few minutes, I've went ahead and I've typed in the names of the classes for 9th grade. Now, it says semester 1. That's already pre-filled in. We can't really do anything about it. Don't worry about it. But we're just going to pretend that this is 9th grade. So I've written these in. Now I need to have my transcript open so that I can record the grades, and we're going to talk about using weighted and unweighted. All right, I know it's a little bit jammed, all squished onto one page, but this is what we got. So this is what we're going to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to record all of my students' grades and credits. Something to think about is when you're giving them their grades, you might wonder whether or not you should do a plus or minus. And I will tell you that if you have a student that's earning mostly A's, then plus or minus is going to be a disadvantage because those A minuses are going to bring their grade point average down below a 4.0. If you have a student that earns mostly B's and C's, it may actually be to their advantage to have you do pluses and minuses. So my advice is to work it both ways. See how that comes out and see how, whichever one is going to be the best, and then use that for all 4 years. You don't want to change, and you certainly don't want to have different transcripts for different purposes. This is their one academic record, so they get one record. So you pick a method and you go with that. Okay, we have a weighted toggle right here at the top. You see, I can turn it on and off. We are going to calculate the grade point average for weighted. What's the difference between weighted and unweighted? Well, a weighted grade point average is one where you're giving more credit. You're giving more weight to the harder classes. So the classes that are honors, the classes that are from a college or advanced placement, these are classes that if they earned an A, it's harder to earn that A. If they earned a B, it's harder to earn that B. So therefore you give more quality points. So this is already going to do the math for you. It makes it very, very simple. And all I need to do in order to do that is I need to use this drop down here to indicate whether it's regular high school class, and that includes remedial classes, honors, and this would include any time where your student is doing a little bit extra. All right, so in the case of homeschooling for college credit, you may have a student that is doing a regular curriculum, but then they are also studying, let's say, for a CLEP exam. That'd be an example of something for honors. AP and IB. IB isn't something that homeschoolers can use, but we can use advanced placement. If you have a curriculum that is an advanced placement curriculum, or you get your homeschool curriculum approved for advanced placement, then they can actually get heavier weight for that. And then college is something that's taken through a college where there's going to be a college transcript generated. So you would not give them a college weight unless it's actually from a college. So sometimes you have alternative credits like CLEP, DSST. You might have ACE credits like study.com, Sophia, things like that. Those are not worth college weight on a grade point average, on a weighted grade point average. Okay, so let me rock down this list here and give everything the proper weight. So these are all going to be regular until we get here to U.S. History 1. This was an honors class, and we actually took that one in 8th grade. And you can tell that because of the little A, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so we have the rest of these on here. And now what you're going to notice is that semester 1 grade point average is given, cumulative weighted grade point average is given, and in just a minute when we get into 10th grade, you're going to see what the difference is between those two numbers, and it will make a lot more sense. Okay, so now we're going to add a semester, which we're adding a 10th grade, even though it says semester, we're using it as our 10th grade, right? We don't care about what title that is. Let me just open this up for you to see. A little bit better there. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put these all in. And I'm doing this kind of fast. I hope I don't make any mistakes, but I certainly could. It's a really good rule of thumb that when you put together their transcript is to go back and check it again a couple more times. Many times over the years, I've homeschooled for 28 years. Many times over the years, I would, what I thought was really perfect, and then I would find a mistake later, and it happens, right? It happens. So if you make a mistake, that's fine. You just want to correct it. And if you've already sent that transcript to, let's say, the college where they're doing dual enrollment, you just send them an updated one, and everybody's happy. Okay. You'll notice this was my first one I did here for college, Political Science 101. So that got a college weight tag here. So management. Now you might be wondering about the Political Science 101 and how it is that that's 1 credit. If that's a college class, it's usually 1 semester. In a standard Carnegie unit, you have 1 semester is worth a half of a credit for high school credit. But since those hours are so much, if it's a college class, then actually 1 semester is worth 1 high school credit. So they will get a full high school credit for every college class that they take. And it really adds up when you do that. Okay, so we have French. Oh, I forgot marketing. See? All right. And marketing is an honors, and that's also a B. All right, we'll add that in. And that is regular. All right, now here's my semester 2 grade point average. All right, 3.71. Now, if you're wondering about the other number here, this number, the 7, this is the number of credits, and that's just simply adding it up. So if we can just put this in here, I'm going to show you. We go back to the 9th grade side. This first category here, where I'm getting these credits, I'm just adding these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is my number of credits. 7 is my cumulative number of credits. The grade point average I got from right up here, and my cumulative grade point average at that time was 3.86. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. Cumulative is the number that you bring forward. So this number here, this 3.79, is actually calculating all of their credits, all of their grades from 9th and 10th grade. That's why it's a different number. So as you can see here, the grade point average in 10th grade, 3.71, is different from their cumulative, which is 3.79, because in this calculation here, they're taking everything. And just generally, the student had some better grades in 9th grade than in 10th. So that brought up their cumulative. So the cumulative is their running total. It's everything that they're doing to date. And it can get a little bit tricky when they start having a lot of different classes, which is why having a really good calculator helps. Okay, so now let's do 11th grade, and I'm going to pause so that I can type those in real quick. All right, I'm just now finishing it up. I'm getting the last of these typed in, and everywhere that I have a college course, I am making sure that I'm indicating that over here on the weight, because that is the key. So I've got regular, I've got honors, and I've got college. So quite a few different kinds of weights. Regular on a 4.0 scale is a 4.0, but honors on a 4.0 scale is actually 4.5. That's that bump that we're talking about. And then college is a 5.0 on a 4.0 scale. So big, huge bump. So my total weighted grade point average for 11th grade, which I'm seeing right here, is 3.64. So I'm going to write that in the box. And my cumulative is 3.74. So we're doing great. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I got all of these entered in, and as often the case in homeschooling for college credit, by the time the student hits 12th grade, they are taking a lot of college classes, if not exclusively college classes. And so we're getting a lot of bang for our buck. So even though the student has some B's and C's in there, we still have a really solid grade point average. So the 12th grade grade point average is going to be 3.68, which we're going to record here. Sorry, 3.86. And then the cumulative, 3.77. And now I've got an extra line here for unweighted. Why might I want to do unweighted? Well, sometimes colleges do ask for an unweighted grade point average. And so rather than recalculating everything, this is literally the fastest way. You just hit the toggle up here, and it's going to tell me the cumulative unweighted 3.29. So that is a much easier way than recalculating everything, of course, from scratch. So this grade point average calculator, love it, easy to change. The grades, I can go back, I can add, I can take off, I can redo it, no problem whatsoever. And on the transcript here, now I've got everything completely done. And as you can see, it only takes about a half hour to put all of these together. And if I have to go back, I can go back and change it, no problem. One thing that I wanted to hit on real quick is sometimes we have parents that have students earn college credit or take a high school credit class in middle school. And so they always want to know, where do I record that? Well, you can just record that on 9th grade. And you'll see here this little raised A. That is telling the reader that there is something down in the key that they should take note of, and that's where we can write that this course was taken during 8th grade. Now, whether or not you want to give them high school credit for that and award a grade is really going to depend on your personal preference and also your state law. So if your state requires that your student take a certain number of credits or a certain type of class during high school, then you're going to want to include it, and that way they get it on their high school transcript and it counts. We never include another page to the transcript for middle school. It's only going to be 9th through 12th grade. So this is a very easy way to do it without taking up any other space. Now, on the college ones, you also see a different little superscript here. You see a raised number 1, and that's going to indicate down in the key that those classes were taken at a community college, and that's going to be for college credit, which is called dual enrollment. And when your student takes college courses in high school, they want to indicate that on the transcript, because that's going to tell whoever the reader is that there is another official transcript coming. So even though you're giving them high school credit for these college classes, they're going to get college credit from the college. So there will be their own transcript that's generated from any of those college courses that they took. And if your student takes classes at more than one college, which happens a lot, you just are going to include another entry down here into the key. So some of your classes are going to be from one college and then maybe some from another and so forth. So that makes it very easy to identify. So if you have more of your homeschooling for college credit transcript questions, I invite you into our new transcript support group. And that is, of course, free to join, and it's run by our expert volunteers, and we're happy to see you in there, and hopefully we can get all of your transcript questions answered. I'll see you over there. Till next time. Bye-bye.